my tank. You're a piece of shit, dog. That felt good. Feel good about that one. Well, you know, sometimes that's just the way it be, you know? Sometimes you do your best, and sometimes it's just not enough. And sometimes there's a fox climbing up your ass. I'll go bird. Oh, it's the worst one. Alright. If I lose him, it's not going to hurt my feelings. Man, if I get another kingfisher, I'm going to crash out, dude. Motherfucker, dude. Every fucking time. Every fucking time I pick this bird one, it's a fucking kingfisher. Fucking kingfisher-ass bullshit, dude. Do not. Turn this corner, I'm going to shoot you. I'll shoot. Don't come any closer. I have a gun. The cops are on their way. Except I'm an American. Which means...
William, knife man.
Oh! Did you see that? That was amazing! Ah, there's a hole. You know what we do with holes? You know, we stick our arms in them. That's what we do. Yeah, do it. Are you waiting for me? Put your freaking hand in there, bro. Yeah, keep going. Just get in there. Keep on. Something tells me we shouldn't open. Alright. So I've had a few friends tell me that I should do a video where I explain how things work in Phasmophobia. So I'm going to do that. And there's going to be a test. And my credentials are this wall. Ignore the missing one. But I have captured every single ghost. I've prestiged one, so I'm not a genius. I'm not the best at this. But I know enough to teach some nerds. So we'll start with amateur. And we will... we'll do all tier 1 loadout. Yeah, reset it. So 1, 1, 1, 1. Everything 1. Okay. And there are some items, if you've not leveled up at all, that you you won't have yet. But that's alright. And we'll do Tanglewood. No. Why do I have all my new stuff? I want my old stuff. Because I have to enable it. There we go. I'm going to add... Where's the crucifix? Oh, it's all... No, it's right there. So that's what's on the truck. Because I have to add it. Oh my gosh. What an idiot. Alright, crucifix. Firelight. This changed a little bit. I kind of like it though, because now I can see what's on the truck and I have to slide back over. But essentially everything from the crucifix down, you do not start with that. You'll start with everything up. You'll start with from the video camera up. And you'll have tier 1 of all of that. But you will not have any of this stuff down here. But I'm going to go ahead and add them. That way, I don't need more than one of those. I don't need more than one of those. Those are good to have. But we'll start with easy stuff. All tier 1. We'll go on Tanglewood. Okay.
So here's your truck. First things first. That timer up there. That timer, it's 5 minutes because we're on amateur, which means for 5 minutes the ghost cannot hunt. You can walk around in there. You can literally have 0 sanity, and until that timer hits 0, it cannot hunt. It's like a grace period as you're learning things. For right now, most of these you won't be able to do. A ghost event you can do without extra stuff. Detect a ghost presence with motion sensor. If you're just starting out, you're not going to have motion sensors. You can't do that. Capture a photo of the ghost. I think you may not start with the camera either, but if you have the camera, this little Polaroid, then yeah, you can do that. But essentially, until you get enough money to unlock some of this other stuff, you will not be able to do perfect games. You can take any 3 items. We're going to ignore this half of the truck right now, because this is all starter items. You can take any 3 items. I recommend thermometer and EMF to find the ghost room. If you are playing with friends and you want to get super sweaty about it, you should have designated people to do designated tasks, right? So you have one person, their only job is to find the ghost room. All right, so they get the thermometer and the EMF at least. And then you can have, I recommend having like an evidence guy who's going to, or a media guy. So he's going to take the camera and the video camera, and he's going to go around. He's in charge of getting the pictures and the videos, looking for ghost orbs. And then you're going to have just one person who's basically going to be the workhorse. So I would recommend UV, dots, book, and then we're starting out, we're ignoring this half. And that guy is going to run around and try to get all that stuff. But if you communicate really well with each other, hey, I'm putting the book down, I got the camera, blah, blah, blah. Anyway. So now we're going to look at this. Here's your map. So the map's going to give you some good info. For one, when other players are in here, I think you can see where they're at. If you have equipment set up in here, you'll be able to see it on this map. And it will tell you where the power is, which is that symbol right there. So we know our circuit breaker is in the basement. And we'll need that if it turns off the power. Your sanity. Now, playing solo and playing teams, the sanity is going to work a little bit differently. So solo, the only thing I have to worry about is my sanity, right? I don't have to worry about my other friends if my retard friend's running around in there in the dark and his sanity's at 20, but everybody else is at 80, that average is what matters. So if the average is below a certain percentage, the ghost will be able to hunt even if you have 99% sanity. When you're playing solo, it's just yours, so it's way easier to manage the sanity aspect of this game if you're playing by yourself. Sound sensors, it doesn't matter for right now. We have some, but if you're just starting out, you're not going to have them, so it doesn't matter. And then the ghost activity. This can help. I mean, there's a lot to this. We'll break down the activity level later, because right now it's not super necessary. This is like one of the, there's some super sweaty things you can know about the activity, but it's there, and you'll see it once we get in there as the ghost is throwing things and doing events and opening doors, so on and so forth, you're going to see the level move up and down. For right now, just look at it, and it's cool. Look at, neat. We can get into. I would consider reading the activity board an advanced thing, whatever. So, going into the house, lights will be off. Now we're on amateur, so the power starts on. So you can come in and start turning on lights. Also listen. You heard that somewhere, right? So whenever it touches something and you heard it, you take your EMF, you try to find out, okay, what was thrown. It's not going to give EMF readings for a long time, for a very long time, so you may not. See, we heard something again. I think it was coming from this half of the house. But yeah, so you're. Oh, dude, that tree's gonna fuck me up every time. Every time I walk by this thing, I'm like, what is that? Okay, hang on. Something just happened here. This door was not closed all the way. And why is that important? So we're playing on amateur, which means all of the doors are going to start closed and remain closed. Unless a player or a ghost opens them. So because this door was kind of open, that tells me either the ghost was in here throwing shit around at some point and then opened the door. Unless I completely misread that door and I fucked that up. But I don't think I did. Okay, so that was an event. Which is good news. We don't have the light now because it was a light break event. But the ghost can only do that within like 15 meters of you, which is really close. So the ghost is definitely somewhere around here. But we have to be careful now because that event broke the light in here, which means all the lights in this room are broken. Being in the dark drains your sanity. The lower your sanity, it's a juggling game. Okay, so move this door, so we know that. This is probably our ghost room. This room right here. So what we're going to do, we're going to put our equipment down in this room. Check the thermometer. Now, this is actually a bad sign. This tells us that this may not be the ghost room because of how warm it is. So it's probably not this room. So we probably have... Oh, I think it turned this light off. So let's check the living room. Alright, you see our temperature dropping? Yep. So it's a living room ghost. So we're going to move all... Dude, that tree. We are going to... You're going to hear my dogs, too, by the way. Sorry. But it's too cold, so they're inside. So we're going to just leave our equipment here. Right? Leave the equipment here. You don't even need a flashlight. So it knocked that camera down. Take your EMF. Anytime you see any events, anything happening, it pushing something, whatever, take it over there. A 2 or a 3 means it... Or a 2 means it threw something... a 2 or 3, I believe. It means it moved something. Also, when you see your breath, that is a guaranteed sign that you're in the ghost room. It used to be different, but now, yeah, you will see your breath in the ghost room. Alright, so living room ghost. So now we know. And it evented while we were in that room. That is within 15 meters, so that's the nerdy part of it, 15 meters. Just know if it evented on you, it's pretty close. Next, our camera. We're going to set up our dots, and we're going to get our UV. And so now we're going to... I don't need that. Now we're going to start setting up ways to capture evidence. So you come in here. We're going to set that down. We're going to take our camera, turn the light off. In the night vision mode, we have orbs. So we're going to record that, because that counts as evidence. Media evidence, anyway. We're going to set this camera up so it gets as much of the living room as we can get it to get. And then we're going to set up the dots. Now you can place... I guess I can't place it on that. You can place the dots, and then see if I can do it on this couch. Hold on. Alright. My dogs are freaking out. I don't know. Okay, so we're going to turn that off because that's loud. Can I set the dots here? I can. So you want to set the dots to try to cover as much area as possible. It helps if you turn it on. So there you go. You got the dots set up to where this is going to capture as much air. Do that. Oh my god, that tree. As much area as possible. And then your UV, you're checking doors, and being in the living room, if it's wandering, it's probably going to come out here. It could mess with this door. I recommend keeping the doors either all the way closed or a little bit closed, because then if it moves it, you know which one it touched. If the door's all the way open and it opens the door, God, sometimes it's hard to tell. So, with that being said, you want to check the windows. They can touch the windows. Check the doors, including closet doors. It can open and close closet doors, and it'll leave UV on it. What was that? Alright. Alright, so it jumped up quite a bit when it knocked over our camera. Alright. So, let's check our temperature again while we're in here. Alright, we are officially below freezing. So, we have two evidence right now. We have orbs and freezing. These are the ghosts it could be. However, it could also be this. And we'll find out eventually. So I'm going to pick this up. I'm going to put this back. I'm going to leave the UV where it's super accessible, and then we're going to go get the rest of our stuff. But you see, it did something, so it's going to put the activity level up there. And we are at 0, which means the ghost can hunt. Our sanity is 92, so unless it's a demon, it's not going to, which I don't even think it's an option. So we're good. So now we're going to get book, spirit box. The rest of this stuff we're going to pretend isn't here. Because, again, we're just doing regular... You just started the game, you just turned it on. So now, you're going to put your book in an area where it captures the most space. And it looks like right here on this couch is going to be the best spot. So we got it placed, and now we're going to have the spirit box. Now the spirit box will only work with the lights off. And I'm set up to stream, so I can't use my voice to do this. I'm not cool enough.
This person died.
There we go. So we got a spirit box response right off the bat. So we got the spirit box response. Now we can mark that as our evidence. Well, that means it's an Onryo, right? Not quite. Because if it's a mimic, we turn off Ghost Orb, because the mimic will always do Ghost Orbs. And if we get Ultraviolet, it's a mimic. So we're not done, even though it looks like we're done. So what we have to do is hide. Because it's hunting us. And now this is very telling. This is very telling on what kind of ghost this is. Because we're going to go check our sanity. We're going to get a little sweaty about it. We're going to finish it. But we are going to get a little sweaty about it. So right there, level 10, that's a hunt. We're at 86%, 89% sanity. The only ghost that can hunt that quickly, to my knowledge, unless one of the new ghosts is capable of doing that, is a demon. But our evidence tells us it cannot be a demon. So that means it's a mimic. Now, why is that? So the mimic will read its thing. The mimic is an elusive, mysterious copycat ghost that mirrors traits and behaviors from others, including other ghost types. We're unsure what the ghost is capable of. Several reports have noted ghost orb sightings near mimics. Spirit box ultraviolet freezing temperatures. So what does that mean exactly? That means any of these ghosts, it can take its characteristics, not its evidence, but its characteristics. So we go to the demon. Demons are the most aggressive ghosts. Demons will initiate hunts more often than others. Demons fear the crucifix and will be less aggressive near one. Ultraviolet, ghost riding, freezing temperatures. We're not going to get ghost riding. We have freezing temperatures, and we'll see if we get evidence. But the demon can hunt at any point. Its ability is it can hunt at any time. I think it can't if the timer's still going. But at 90% sanity, it can hunt. And I believe that's the only ghost that can hunt that high. Again, unless one of the newer ghosts, probably not the Obambo, but these two, I'm pretty sure cannot hunt. And we have Robert Robinson. The Dayan and the Banshee will always be girls. And since it's a boy, we know it's not a Dayan. So, long story short, it's a mimic. It just pulled a demon ability. Now, that's kind of an advanced thing. You have to know that in order for that to... You have to know that a demon can hunt whenever it wants to, for the most part. And so it killed the power. Alright. With that being said, we're going to try to get our third evidence. We've kind of been in the truck for a while. We're going to check our usual spots here. Get the lights on. Now the mimic will change what it's mimicking. Right? So it's not going to mimic a demon the entire game. It could go back to mimicking a demon. But that doesn't mean that it's going to mimic a demon. So essentially, unfortunately... Oh, do you hear that? It just touched a window. And there's our UV. So that's a UV evidence. So we click UV. We can't have 4 evidence, so we know Ghost Orbs isn't real. And now we have Mimic. But that is my strategy for starting hunts, especially by yourself. How do you start hunts? Just like that. It's honestly kind of unfortunate we got a Mimic, but it's also good because Mimics are, well, they're kind of annoying, right? They're kind of annoying because they oh, we're getting evented. Here's a fun fact. How do you know if it's an event or a hunt? If it's an event, the light will turn off in the room that you're in. If it's a hunt, the lights will not turn off. And generally there's what they call a... I don't remember what it's called, but basically there's a little bit of a grace period before a hunt starts. That's where you hear it making noise and the lights are flickering and you're like, what the hell's going on? That's a hunt. So if ever you start hearing the ghost making noise and the lights are flickering and you're not sure if it's an event, if the lights are on, it's probably a hunt. It's safe to assume that it's a hunt. So now, we got all of our evidence. We got Mimic. Boom. Other things you can do as a beginner, you can look for the bone. The bone will just give you extra points. Later it will help you. I think I saw the bone. Yeah. Later it will help you to get perfect games and stuff. We're not going to focus on that just right now, but with that being said, we got all our evidence with all just starter equipment. We had a Mimic. So now you come, you just leave. And then we see if we're right. If we're right, then bam. We won a round. We beat the ghost in a round. And it was a Mimic.
I've prepared some jobs for you.
And so like I said, with starter equipment, we don't have a motion sensor. We were not able to get the motion sensor. We got media because I recorded the ghost orb. That's it. Investigation bonus depends on if you got a perfect investigation and what difficulty you're at. Or the rewards is what difficulty you're at. We got the bones, we got an extra $25, and then our daily reward is $100. We got $385. Alright. So, go back into Tanglewood. And then we're going to start talking about some of all of this stuff down here. And quite honestly, hopefully we don't get another Mimic. Can you go out on the patio now? I'm going to try to check that out. Anyway. So now let's assume you start unlocking this stuff. Alright, we'll start from this side of the board and move over. You have your crucifix, which is going to stop hunts. If it's in the circle, and I'll show you when we get inside and I put one down. When you go to place it, you'll see a white circle. On that white circle, If the ghost tries to start a hunt in that white circle, then it won't be able to. But it'll also burn your crucifix and you'll lose it. It'll stop the hunt, but you'll lose the crucifix. Salt is good for determining a few ghosts, and it's also good for getting UV evidence. I mostly use it for UV evidence. Incense, if the ghost is hunting you, you pop the incense, you become invisible to the ghost for a small period of time, which could get you away. You can also pop the incense and run through the ghost, and it won't hurt you. Sound recorder, you need to get media evidence. So that goes back to our media guy we talked about in the last round. If you're playing with friends, you should, again, I would recommend, you should have one guy whose entire job is to find a ghost room. They get the EMF and the thermometer. One guy whose entire job is to collect media evidence. They get the camera, the sound recorder, and the video camera. And then you have another guy who's going to run around with these three evidence, or the spirit box, the UV, and the book. They're going to put it down. Now, once the book is down, you don't really have to worry about it anymore. And then they can run around and decide, you can all decide where did the crucifix go, putting down motion sensors, using the parabolic microphone, so on and so forth. That's how I would set up if I was playing with friends. Generally, if you want to get sweaty about it, if you're just having a good time, who gives a shit? But if you want to get super sweaty about it, yeah, one guy, EMF, thermometer, they find the ghost room. That's their job. One guy who does media. They get sound recorder, camera, video camera. And then one guy, UV, spirit box, ghost writing book, dots, so on and so forth. But since we hypothetically have all of this equipment now, we can now do perfect games, which means we can accomplish all of these extra objectives on the board here. So detect a paranormal sound with a parabolic microphone, we can do that. Witness a ghost event, that'll probably happen just as you play. That one's an easy one. Prevent the ghost from hunting with a crucifix. That could be easy depending on the ghost. That could be a pain in the ass. Either way, first things first, while we still have our that's a computer. While we still have our 5-minute grace period, we're going to try to find the room. So, grab our key, we'll check our map. Where's our power? It's in the garage, so we don't have to go into the basement. And I'm going to see if I can get on that patio. It looks like you can get on the patio, maybe. I'm going to try. Alright. So again, we're on amateur, which means all of the doors are going to be closed. But the power's on, so we don't have to go turn the power on first. Oh, the door opening. It was just thunder. Okay. Did you hear that? That sounds like something got thrown. And again, on amateur, honestly, on any mode, if you walk in a room, close the doors. It makes it so much easier if it opens a door, you know that it opened the door. There's the phone. Okay. Can we open this? No. It lied to me. It made it look like you can go out on there. Anyway. On lower difficulties, and dependent on the weather, it's easy to find out what room the ghost is in. You just take the thermometer. Alright? So with the power on, the house is going to heat up. And since we started the round on amateur and the power started on, the house is going to be warm. So we're looking at the temperature. It's not going down. You'll know it'll drop down to like it'll drop below 15, start going below 10, that sort of thing. So Let's check our kitchen. Not going down. Not the kitchen. Let's check our laundry room. And this thing can be hard to see sometimes. The best way to try to see it, just turn around so the light's showing the thermometer. Bam, then you can see. Okay, it's not going down, so it's not this room. So we're going to try the next one. And if you guys have any questions as we go, please ask. Temperatures bounce around a little bit, but I don't think that means that this is the room. We'll see if it's going to drop below 68. If it does, we might have the room, but I kind of doubt it. Okay, it's probably not this room. And I'm turning lights off as I go, because you can only have so many lights on in the house. You turn on too many lights, you'll blow the breaker. Okay, we're checking the temperature. Probably not this room. Checking the temperature here. Nope. Still not the room. Now sometimes, like the last round, the last round is really easy to find the ghost room. This counts as a freaking room. I don't know if it still counts like it used to. I know in the old Tanglewood, this hallway and this in here all counted as one room. I don't know if this counts as one room and this counts as one room. But we're going to check it either way. Still not going down. So now we'll check the puzzle room. The grandpa room, that's what I'm going to call it. Alright, we're getting closer. Do you see how it's dropping lower than in the other half of the house? That means that the ghost is cooling off this part of the house. So we'll check the bathroom. I don't know about the new Tanglewood, but on this Tanglewood, the bathroom and the hallway are like the two places I almost always got ghosts. Alright, so probably not the bathroom. But I have a feeling the kids... So open this. I didn't open that. But we're not getting an EMF reading. Oddly enough. Alright, let's check our temperature in here. Still not wanting to drop. What other room have we not checked? The living room? We got another living room ghost? No, it's going up in the living room. The hallway. This is where it gets kind of frustrating sometimes. Because sometimes you'll just get a ghost that doesn't do anything. They don't open doors. They don't throw things. And you just gotta walk around until you find the room. Now this half of the house is much cooler than the other half. It really picked up in here. Still pretty high up in here. Okay, something has to be bugged because it definitely. I closed this. It definitely opened this closet door. So I'm wondering if maybe the thermometer is also bugged. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put this down. We are gonna go get some more tools here. Because we should have got an EMF off that door. It doesn't make sense we didn't get an EMF off that. Where... Just get dots. Or... Yeah. Oh my god. Can I pick it up? So, first thing, are we getting any UV on this door? Don't think so. I don't think we were fast enough either, even if we did. We're gonna put that on the ground. I'm really thinking it's this hallway. Okay. Can I put this down? Can I please? Okay. Can I move this stuff? No. Devs. Let me put stuff down. Alright, floor it is. So let's check for orbs. Nothing in here. Nothing in here. Nothing in here. Nothing in here. Now, with that being said, it can open that closet from, like, over here. So if it's in this room... I'm not seeing any orbs in here. But if it's in this room, and it walks through here, it can open that closet door from this side. But it's just weird that it's opened that closet door a couple times, has not opened this, and as far as I can tell, has not touched anything else in the house here. So let's make a sweep of the house. Let's see if we can see any orbs. Oh, we have not gone into the basement. I'm willing to bet that's where I messed up. I did not go into the basement. That is the only room we have not gone down into to get evidence. So let's see. Yep, look at all this stuff down here. So, you see stuff thrown around like this? And man, this... So that's an event because the light's turned off, right? You see it standing there? It's just an event. And look at our temperature. So that's on me for, Man, this thing is... Oh, we got an airball. Yeah, it got us. Okay. So that's what's called an airball. We've been evented on twice since we've been down here. And it killed the power. So we are going to go check our sanity. It's always a good idea to check your sanity if you, anytime you get evented on like that. It's always a good idea to check your sanity. and we're at 70%. A majority of ghosts, the sanity threshold to be hunted on, you're looking at like 60. It could be less. It could be more, depending on the type of ghost. But generally speaking, try to keep it above 60. So now we have our sanity medication. You can take some of that. Can I take some? I think this... Why? Maybe that one was bad. Alright. Oh. Okay, I took it. So now our sanity is going to go up. Sanity medication will increase your sanity. We got vented on twice. You have the airball, and then we had the translucent ghost. So with that being said, we're going to start moving all of our equipment down to the basement. That way we can gather our evidence. So we can turn this off. Because this ghost is doing all kinds of it. Turn the train on! Alright. So you see that white circle? As long as it goes... Do. Alright. Let's put all this stuff down. Let's go... I think it turned the power off again. I don't think that was... Yeah. It killed the breaker. Now there are some super sweaty things you can learn about with what the ghost is doing right now. Well, I'll get into it a little bit. I won't get into it a whole lot because that's like super sweaty behavior. But going to ghosts, we don't have any evidence, but we know for a fact it's not a djinn. And why do we know that? Because the djinn is not able to turn off the breaker. Some people say that it won't turn off the breaker. It will try to turn off the breaker, but it will not work. And if you're standing by the breaker when it does that, then it drains a higher percentage of sanity. That's where you get into some of the sweatier stuff about the game. But so we know, not a djinn. Next, we got an air ball. The air ball vent, so the little misty ball that chases you around to come get you, right? There is one ghost that cannot do that, and that's the Oni. So the Oni cannot do an air ball. Anytime you see an air ball, it's not an Oni. What else can it not be? So a shade. A shade cannot do stuff in this room while you're in it. And it can't hunt in the same room that a person is in. So it was throwing stuff and turning stuff off and on, and it was doing stuff. So we can mark out shade. We know it's not shade. Everything else so far, from what we've seen, I believe, is still on the table of what it could be. Now it opened the closet. So it opened the closet while we were upstairs, but it's not the ghost room. Downstairs is where the ghost room is, but it opened the closet door upstairs, which means... Hey, Myling. Are you here to haunt me? Oh, God, he's gonna get me! What's up, dude? How you doing? I had some friends ask me to do a little class on Phasmophobia. That way they can take notes and learn a little bit. I'm not an expert by any means whatsoever, so I'm probably gonna get some stuff wrong. If I do and I get it wrong, please tell me. But generally, I'm gonna try to only speak on things I know of. So what I'm talking about right now is we were in the hallway. It opened the closet in the hallway, but the ghost room is down in the basement. So what that means is it could be twins, because the twins that make, if you read the description, twins makes it sound like it's two ghosts. You can't think of it as it's two ghosts. You gotta think of it as like one ghost with like super long arms, right? So when it does something in one room, at the same time a super long spaghetti arm will come out and do something in another room at the same time. So that's possible. Thank you for the like, Myling. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. I'm gonna pronounce it wrong. I started that way. So we're looking at possible twins, and then we're looking at, there's a couple ghosts on here that can teleport to you and or follow you around. That's also possible. I'm not going to get into all that nonsense. That's super sweaty behavior that even I have not mastered completely. So anyway, it killed the power again. It really likes killing the power. All of our shit's still in here. Never mind. But yeah, so now we're going to start moving equipment down into the basement. If I can pick it up. Need the dots. And we need that. Alright. We're going to go turn the power back on. So now, name of the game is to get the evidence. We have orbs. And it's very active. Alright, so, again, camera, go put it in a spot where you're going to capture a majority of the room as much as you can. We're going to check all these doors for... I can't turn the drill off, so sorry. Check all the doors, UV. I don't know if it can touch these high windows, but I'm going to check them. And then our dots. So try to put your dots in a spot where you're going to get, again, a majority of the room. And where your camera is going to see it too. Because you can go into your camera and just kind of lurk in there and get some evidence that way. Check our temp. No, we're good there. So in the last match, Myling, we had a mimic, and we basically just did all starting equipment. We didn't do any of the other stuff. So now we're going to start talking about all of the other equipment you can unlock. So, sound recorders. Sound recorders are good for... They're really best for the bigger maps because you can set them down in different areas of the house, and I'll put one down that way you can see. But they're good for setting down in areas of the house if you're having trouble finding the ghost, and if it does something, you'll be able to see what room it was and where it was. So that can help you, especially if you're playing solo on like prison or. I do like using them on Point Hope because of all the different floors. Sometimes it's hard to hear where the ghost is. Point Hope is probably when I use these the most. Motion sensors, pretty simple. Ghost walks in front of it, it lights up. If you're in the truck, you'll see it on the map. And then parabolic microphone is also good for the bigger maps and for certain ghosts. On the bigger maps, it's good for finding the room. If you're having trouble finding the room, you can turn the parabolic on and just kind of walk around, and eventually you'll hear something, and that will help you narrow down a lot of the bigger maps. So with motion sensor, we set that there. Actually, I'm gonna put it a little higher because I know the ghost is tall. Parabolic microphone, and then sound recorder. So I'm gonna put a sound recorder on this table, maybe. There. Man, it's just gonna pick up this drill. And I can't turn it off. Whoop. Did you see that? We just kind of barely caught a glimpse of it. But we have dots. So it walked through and you can see it on the dots. So we're gonna mark the dots projector on that. That's gonna narrow down where we're at. We saw it with the naked eye, right? So what does that mean? The Goryo will only be visible on dots through the camera. Did the screen just get darker? That was weird. Anyway, the Goryo, you will only be able to see in dots on the camera. You won't be able to see it without the camera. So we know it's not a Goryo. We can go and get rid of that. We know it's not a Goryo. So now we're looking at these right here. Parabolic microphone. You turn it on, and we're just gonna hear that damn drill. We'll put our back to the drill. And basically, if the ghost makes a sound, you're gonna hear it on the parabolic microphone. We'll play with it a little more later, because we have some other stuff to grab. While we're here, we'll check our temperature. Still not freezing. And we saw dots again. So now we can start grabbing some more of our stuff. So now we're going to do a quick test. If you think it might be a wraith, get salt. I have heard that. So Myling asked you to see Goryo on dots. No one can be in the room, right? I have heard that before. But I feel like I've been in the room when I've seen Goryo on dots. I feel like I have, and maybe I was standing in the room next to the room that it was actually in, and I saw it. That's very possible. If that's the case, then yeah, you're probably right. You probably can't see the dots with the Goryo. Let's see if it tells us anything about that on here. When a Goryo passes through a dots projector, using a video camera is the only way to see it. A Goryo will usually only show itself on camera if there are no people nearby. So yeah, you're right, Myling. They're rarely seen far from their place of death. So that's another thing about the Goryo too, is they will not leave the ghost room. They will always stay in that ghost room. I don't think they can switch rooms either unless you do something with one of the cursed objects to force it to go into another room. But a Goryo will stay in that room, and our friend Myling, one of the ghosts from Phasmophobia, is in chat with me right now. And he's good friends with Goryo, and he's telling me right now, yeah, the Goryo, you cannot be... If you're in the room, you won't see it. So what you do, we set up our camera in that situation. You go to video cameras, click on that, and look, now we can see into the room. And if it's a Goryo, it's not a Goryo because we saw the dots with our eyes, not the camera. But now that we're in this, if it's a Goryo, we'll see it on the dots there. They're one of the more annoying ghosts to have to figure out because of that. But thank you, Myling, for bringing that up. I appreciate that. So let's talk about the sound recorder. Sound recorder is in the basement. You see that big yellow circle? Any noise that happens in that big yellow circle will pick up on the sound recorder, or this thing. And see right there, we're getting that drill, the drill that I can't turn off. So we're getting sound in there. And then if you hear that beeping, that little red line right there, if the ghost walks through that, it'll turn green, and you'll hear a beep. And we heard it a couple times. We heard that beep sound. Thank you for the follow, Myling. I really appreciate it. Yep, see that green and that beep? That means that it hit the motion sensor. We know it's in the motion sensor. Easy peasy. So, let's talk about our other stuff here. Oh, yeah, the Wraith test. Wraith test is the easiest test to do. It's the easiest way to figure out if it's a Wraith or not. Salt. So we're going to grab some salt. We know it's walking through where the motion sensor is because it's beeping and turning green, so we know it's doing that. What's up, Top Fuel? How you doing, dude? So we know it's walking through that area right there. So we're going to put salt there. And we're also going to get our UV light. Because a ghost that walks through UV light will always leave UV footprints. Where did I put my UV light? Uh-oh. Did I take it downstairs? Myling, thank you for the share, dude. You freaking rock, man. And I'm so sorry, guys. I can't turn the drill off. It's just going to make noise. Okay, I do have UV light. So UV, when you put salt down and a ghost walks through it, you will get UV footprints if it's one of the evidence. So now we're going to wait. And I'm going to... Thank you for the heart, me, Myling. Man, that's awesome. I appreciate you, dude, for real. I'm going to tell you why I'm doing this. Putting salt down. So while we were upstairs trying to find the room, it opened that closet door twice. And when it opened that closet door twice... Okay, it walked through the salt, which means it's not a wraith. Remember I was talking about some of the ghosts will teleport to you and do stuff. Wraith is one of them. So, we know it's not a wraith. A wraith cannot walk through salt. It will not leave footprints in the salt. And it did not leave UV, so we can cross out UV. We're not going to get UV. So now we have the Dio, the Thea, the Yokai, the Yurei, and the Raiju. Alright. No ghost riding. No freezing. So it's safe to say we don't have ghost riding. We've not been able to get any EMFs on it yet. But it is throwing stuff in here. No orbs. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? So that tells us Wraith or Oni. We know it's not a Wraith. We know it's not a Wraith because it walked through the salt. And we're pretty sure it's not an Oni because it did the Ghost Ball event. And we're not really getting any other evidence here. Interesting. This is going to be an interesting one. Alright. Interesting. Let's go get our spirit box, and let's... Well... Interesting. Did I just miss the orb? That's entirely possible. Sometimes the orb will... hide behind boxes and stuff. So let's walk around. Oh, we got that. Let's get our EMF. Alright. Not a 5. We're looking for 5 because that could be Raiju. I'm not seeing orb. Oh, yeah, I am. Right there. We got a video of the orb too, didn't we? Yeah, I'm dumb. Never mind. Yeah, because we got object room. No 5. Let's get the light back on. Bam. Alright. This ghost is going to be difficult to figure out what it is. It appears. Oh, I almost got it. Almost got the ghost video. Alright. So we do have orbs. We have orbs. We have dots. So Thea, Yokai, Yurei, and Raiju. So let's go get our spirit box. If we get a spirit box, that'll tell us what the ghost is for sure. Then we can go through and start talking about all of the other items, and we can start talking about perfect games. Turn that off. Okay. We'll grab this, we'll grab our camera, and we'll grab our sound recorder. That way we can get a perfect game. And we'll talk more about specific ghost traits. Remember, spirit box, the light has to be off. Then we're gonna come in here, and I know I gotta push the buttons. Sorry.
Taking attack.
But we got our spirit box response, which means it's going to be a yokai. Now with the yokai, a couple things about the yokai is they get real mad when you're talking in the room. Now what does that mean when they get really mad while you're talking in the room? If you're talking and you're in game chat, I'm not in game chat right now. I'm only talking through my OBS. That's how you guys are able to hear me. The game can't hear me. If I was in here talking, the hunt threshold for the yokai is lower. I think it's generally at, or higher. I'm sorry, the threshold is higher. So it's at 60, but if you're in the room talking, I believe it goes up to either 70 or 80. Where else am I streaming this, Jay? I'm on YouTube and I'm on TikTok. I don't do Twitch because of the ads. Twitch is so annoying with the ads. You can't force them to turn off. And I play a lot of story games. I do play Phasmophobia a lot. But I play a lot of story games, and it kind of sucks on Twitch because, well, if you're watching me play a storyline and something's happening and then an ad starts, you miss what happens. And I don't like that aspect of Twitch. Turn the power off. So I used to stream on Twitch. I'm not against going back to Twitch. At some point, maybe. Okay, so this is an event. How do I know it's an event? The light turned off. anytime the ghost does something, if the light turns off, like if you hear the ghost make noise and it feels like a hunt, if the light shuts off when that happens, that's an event, not a hunt. So, it takes some time getting used to that because I don't know. Sometimes it just does. But yeah, if the lights shut off when it's making that noise, or you see it walking around or something, that's an event. It can't kill you. It could mess up your sanity, but it can't kill you. Fair. Yeah, I just don't. I don't know. I used to watch Twitch a lot, and then, in my opinion, the ads just got out of control. And I've been there where I've been watching somebody stream, and I'll hit an ad, and I'll miss like a really cool part of the stream, and like everyone in the chat is talking about it, and it's almost like you're in a club, or they're in a club that you're not a part of, you know. And I don't like that. I just started streaming. I'm working on getting a new microphone, and oh, Myling, I was talking about the yokai's threshold for hunting. If you're talking in the room with it, the threshold increases to 80%. I wasn't sure if it was 70 or 80. I know it was higher than the 60, but it's 80% sanity. So if you're in the room talking with the yokai, it wants you to shut the hell up. So it gets mad. As long as it's 2.5 meters from the player, the yokai. Yeah. Thank you, Myling. Myling's going to become my unofficial mod for Phasmophobia. So, but yeah, when it comes to Twitch, the ads kill it for me. TikTok doesn't do that, YouTube doesn't do that. So people can come watch the stream and not have to worry about missing something or feel like they have to donate or give money or subscribe or something to not get the ads. I love Phas too, man. So I don't have a gaming PC, so when it finally came out on Xbox, and I know a lot of the old Phas heads were real mad about that because when they were porting it to the Xbox and everything, it pushed back a lot of the other updates for Phasmophobia, and a lot of the PC Phas heads, which was the only place you could play it forever, they were real upset about it. But I hope they can forgive, because I love this game so much, and I'm glad I'm able to be a part of it now. And yeah, I have some friends that like to play too, and I was able to pick up on a lot of the Phas stuff faster than they could, and so they like to play with me because I have one friend that has actually a legitimate notebook where she takes notes from when we play together, and I'm like, girl, it's not that serious. We're just in here to have a good time. But I think a lot of people want to know that stuff. I mean, I can understand coming into Phasmophobia, and man, it can be very intimidating sometimes. Yeah, my good friend Haley, I love her. She's great, and she's helped me a lot through a lot of things. So she's a cool person. So the crucifix. Let's talk about the crucifix a little bit. When you put it down, you see that white circle? So what that means is if the ghost hunts inside this white circle, it will burn this crucifix instead, and it will not hunt. So let's put it down. So that white circle came to roughly right about here, right? So if the ghost from right here tries to hunt, it'll burn that crucifix and won't hunt. If it hunts from over here, it will still hunt. So be careful. I've seen a lot of times of I've seen a lot of people who just started playing. They'll be like, "Why did it hunt me? I've had the crucifix in there." Well, because of that white circle. Pay attention to that white circle. If you put it down, if it hunts outside of that white circle, even if it's in the same room, it is still going to hunt. So, excuse me. Keep that in mind with the crucifix. This drill is really driving me crazy, man. Did I open that? Keep my beer cold, man. I got beer in here, Ghost. Alright. So, what else can we talk about here? Let's see what other items we have up in the truck. I have a few people that I play with and learn from that are prestige times 20. Good lord. Haley is indeed the best. Haley is indeed the best. I agree with you. And you have their notes too. That's fun. It's on the surface, this game seems really easy, but man, when you get really deep into all the different stuff the ghosts do, like, it becomes quite the puzzle game. Quite honestly. It really does become quite the puzzle game. What's up, Loki? Kelsey, how are you? But yeah, it does become quite the puzzle game once you really dig down into all the separate ghost evidence that isn't actually part of the evidence. It gets pretty in depth. So finally caught a stream. Well, hey, thanks for being in, man. Do you play Zero Sanity ever? Zero Evidence ever? Oh, dude, I have a few times. Obambo, oh my god, we're catching all of the Phasmophobia ghosts coming to watch my stream. I'm airing out their secrets, that's why. Zero Evidence, I've done it a couple times. The sanity medication is not working, by the way. So we're just gonna have to deal with that. But I have a couple times. It is it can be really, really difficult to get to do those ones. I like Nightmare because I feel like Nightmare is a very what do you call it? I think Nightmare is fair. It's a fair difficulty for Phasmophobia. When you place a wooden cross on the floor, it doesn't work? Okay, well, let's go back down, and I'll go over the crucifix again. Yep. I'm gonna go downstairs. We're going to... I'll go over how the crucifix works again. So, crucifix. Let me put all my stuff on the table here. So when we go to put down the crucifix, do you see that white circle when I go to place it? Do you see that rain? Did rain leave? No, there you are. You're here. Okay, so that white circle means that if the ghost starts a hunt inside of that white circle, it will burn the crucifix instead of hunt. However, if we put the crucifix here, our circle's like roughly right here, right? If it hunts from over here, if it starts a hunt from here, it will still be able to hunt. So just because the ghost is, or the crucifix is in the room, in the same room the ghost is hunting from, that doesn't mean that it's going to stop it from hunting in that room anywhere. Well, let me turn the lights back on. But yeah, in that, it has to start to hunt from inside that white circle. Some of the rooms, that's easy to do, right? So, like, let's look at, I mean, this room right here, the laundry room. Thank you for the follow, Rain. I appreciate you. So let's take this crucifix up into the laundry room. If this is the ghost room, when we put this down, you see where the white circle is? It covers this entire room. So if the ghost was in the laundry room and we had a crucifix in here, it would not be able to hunt from here. Yes, Myling is correct. If you so we'll demonstrate. I'll demonstrate that. That's a good idea, Myling. So let's say, okay, I'm in here. I'm going to put this crucifix down. Where does that inside circle go? So it actually goes outside of this room. So technically what we would want to do is move it further into the room. This table's bugged out, kind of. So let's see if we... Okay, right there. Perfect. So that's going to cover a majority of the room. If it hunts from this corner, we're kind of screwed, but... And they don't have to start a hunt in the ghost room. They can. So we can talk about that a little bit too. There are some ghosts that will wander, so it won't stay. The ghost won't stay in this room, right? So if it's a wandering ghost, it will probably not the basement because of the stairs. So, a lot of times the ghosts have trouble navigating stairs. But let's just say it does. Okay. If it's a wandering ghost, it can leave the room. And if it starts a hunt from outside of the room, then yes, you will. It will still be able to hunt, even though the crucifix is down. If sorry, I have my dogs. It's really cold right now, so they're inside the house this time. But yeah, so if they leave the room, then yes. The next part of that is a ghost if it events in a different room. That means the ghost is physically there in that room. So let's say they can only event if you're so close to them anyway, but let's say I'm in the living room and the ghost events me right here in the living room. Well, that ghost now has to walk back from the living room back into its ghost room. And if it starts a hunt anywhere between where it does the event, let's say it events right here, and it goes, okay, I'm done with my event, I gotta walk back into my ghost room. Boom, I'm gonna start a hunt. I'm not in the room, and the crucifix is not close enough to me, so I can start a hunt and go after you from there too. Obambo, thank you for the follow, my man. But back to what Myling was saying. So we have that one crucifix here that's covering basically this whole half of the room, right? If we put it, this one right here, that's going to cover this other half of the room. So we're pretty safe from this ghost being able to hunt us from this room without burning a crucifix, unless it hits this corner right here, and in which case it's still going to hunt. So, okay, what else can we talk about here? Media. Let's talk about media. All right. So now we have our camera, our sound recorder, and our video camera. So we go back into our media, we can look at our videos, and we see I've already recorded ghost orbs, and that counts as evidence, or as a media evidence, and we caught a video of it throwing something. I wasn't able to get that door, but that's okay. Now, you see this little red circle here. That means it's a unique evidence. In order to get a perfect game, you have to have all unique evidence. You can get duplicates, so let me see if I can find the orbs. I don't think it lets you record the orbs more than once, does it? It might. But let's say I get another video of it throwing something. I will not have that unique badge in the corner. Okay. Yeah, it won't let you do the orbs twice. Yeah, I didn't think so. But yeah, you won't get that unique badge in the corner, and then you won't be able to get a perfect game. Now, if you do that, fear not, you can delete 5 things. It used to be 3, and now it's 5. And 99% of the time, I'm deleting media because. Oh, you like that one? That's a funny emote. I like that one too. That's from I'm playing through Lost Records Bloom and Rage right now. I do on Mondays. Mondays I do like my really long streams. And I'm playing through Bloom and Rage on that at the moment. So I got a video of the motion sensor. Things you can get videos of. If it walks through salt and you catch it when it happens, you can get a video of that. The motion sensor, you can get that. Now you can record the motion sensor more than once. So, like in this situation, we didn't have it as an objective, but we got a video of it. When that happens, I just throw that thing on the ground. Get it out of the way. You're just... I've done it before where I've accidentally recorded a video of motion sensor twice and I end up wasting one of my deletes on that. That's frustrating. Next, what other videos can you get? So the salt, when they walk through the salt, you can record that, but you have to record it when it happens. Objects thrown. So if it throws something, you can record that. If it opens or closes a door, you can record that. If it flips a light switch off and on, you can record that. This candle, and we're going to see how that works right now. You light this candle, and you take your camera, and you just wait. And you can get a video recording of the candle as well. And this is where sometimes these games get tedious, because like we already know what the ghost is. The ghost is a yokai. You can't get a recording of the train starting up, though. Oh, can you? Oh, we got the fire extinguisher. Alright, so we got the video of the fire extinguisher. And we need one more video. Now, we know it's a dots ghost, because it's been dotsing. It's been doing its dots. Whoa, that was cool. That sounded like a window touch. Okay. The EMF is going off. We're going to get a picture of that. So EMF readings you can get your picture of. It's unique. That's a good one to get a photo of. We are going to move our dots kind of in an area where I think we're going to have better luck getting our videos and photos. Yeah, that's probably good. Really likes turning this train on. And so now we wait for one of two. We can wait for one of two things. We can wait for an event to happen, and then we can get a video of the event. We can wait for it to walk through the dots, get a video of the dots, or we can go up, and I think that's what we're gonna do. To be honest, we're gonna go get some more salt and try to get a video of it walking through the salt. Some of the videos and pictures and stuff are worth more than others. I don't know if it's worth it, if I'm to be honest with you. I don't really think it is. Unless you just want to try to max out how much money you can get, but I think it's only like a $5 difference between each video. Like I think the top tier video and picture will be like $20 or maybe 15 to 20 bucks. In the grand scheme of things, you can sit here and try to get those perfect videos and all that. But I think you'll make more money if you just get what you can and move on to the next round. So yeah, now it's just a waiting game. waiting for it to walk through the salt, or walk through the dots, or do an event. Yeah, and it'll do that crap too, where... Come on. It'll like just barely catch the dots. Or it won't stay in the dots long enough to get the video. But this is how you do perfect rounds. Eventually. Man, it was walking through the salt like crazy just a second ago. But now it's not going to do it. What's up, Truly? How are you doing? I'm doing sort of a little class on Phasmophobia right now. If you have any questions or anything, I've covered quite a bit already, but not the tier 1. We're almost done going over all the tier 1 stuff. There we go. We've got all our videos. We don't need that camera anymore. Okay, thank God. I thought I had to get like a video of the ghost or something. You need it? The tier 1 stuff? What do you need? No, the classes? Okay. I'm no expert. I think my good friend Myling, one of the ghosts from the game, is actually in the chat right now. Don't freak out. Don't get scared. But there is a Myling in the chat right now, and they've been helping us quite a bit too. If I get something wrong, they've been correcting me at least. You were just playing? Do you like the new Tanglewood map? I think the new Tanglewood map's good. So photos. Let's go over photos. Easiest photos to get, the bone. And you need the bone for the perfect game anyway. So here's the bone. Bam. Got a picture? Pick it up. Cursed object. So let's see if we can find the cursed object. They're in different rooms now than the original Tanglewood. And I'm ashamed to say, I don't think I know all of the rooms now. Is that a moldy banana? Who bought this? All this food is moldy. But the fridge is empty. Interesting. Alright. So let's see. I know the voodoo doll's not in the garage anymore. Voodoo doll used to be in this corner of the garage, but now it's not. What is that? Oh, a tool. Is that the monkey paw? That is a monkey paw. Alright. So we take a picture of the monkey paw. Boom. We now have, I'll go to my media. We got 3 pictures. We've got our EMF reading, we have our bone, our monkey paw. We only need 2 more. Next to the teddy bear. Well, we have monkey paw. It's not going to be there, but I'll go check to see where that is exactly. I think I've seen it there before. I think I did know the voodoo doll. I have not seen. Yeah, voodoo doll's usually right here. Or yeah, voodoo doll. I've not seen the Ouija board. I would imagine the Ouija board's going to be in the puzzle room. I might do a custom game where we go over cursed objects next. Master closet. Really? They put it in there? Oh, the Ouija board's still in the basement? Yeah, I think I'll do a round where a custom round where I have all the cursed objects. That way we can kind of go over all of those. So I need 2 more pictures, and this is where it's going to get a little difficult to get the pictures, because this ghost doesn't leave any evidence that you can take pictures of, other than dots. But the spirit box you can get a sound recording on. I won't be able to get it because of the way my microphone is set up at the moment. But you can get a sound recording from spirit box. What is that? Melt the Moroi. At a glance, I thought it said meth the Moroi. No judgment. Alright. So we're gonna wait for our opportunity to get some pictures. I wish we could turn this drill off. So desperately, I wish. Well, okay. Well, we could have got a picture of that. That was an airball. And I can't take sanity medication. I could get a photo, try to get a photo of it hunting. Since I can't take my sanity medication. Anywho. Candle. Light the candle. Turn your sound recorder on, and I can get, you can get an episode of that. Let's look up, Truly said something. You were just playing Ling Ling. What would you call the Mylings? Ling Ling? Casey? What the heck? I'm usually watching your streams. What are you doing? Oh my god, did I miss it? Oh my god. Casey, this is embarrassing. Don't look. Lunch break? How's work? Oh, this is so hard to do that on the controller. Gotcha! Sucker. Alright, we gotta check our sanity, because it's done that twice to us already. And my sanity wasn't super great to begin with. Work is whack. Hey, everybody, Casey also streams. She's awesome, so... what do you're gonna play Routine next, because you finished Resident Evil, right, Casey? Alright, our sanity sucks, so this thing's probably gonna hunt us pretty soon. Oh, it let me take one. Good. Let's see if we got our picture. We got it. Okay, so we need one more picture, and we need 3 sounds. I fumbled the candle. You're already in chapter 4? Oh my god, I missed it. That's right. Chapter 4 is when it gets good, I think. That's when I think Routine got really good, in my opinion. The puzzles are bullshit in Routine, though. I will say that. Alright, so we need one more photo, 3 sounds. I'm gonna be honest, I think we'll hit the perfect game on the next one, because I don't want to just stand around and wait for this thing to do something. This ghost has already been kind of a pain in the ass. But we did get to go over...
Welcome back.
Did we miss anything? The headgear, but fuck the headgear. Nobody cares about the headgear. Really the only headgear that's even remotely worth it is tier 3 headgear. So we went over all the tier 1 stuff. We did voice record it. No, we didn't, because I fumbled the fire extinguisher. That ghost wasn't really doing anything anyway. We went over the salt. We didn't go over incense. We did go over crucifix. Let's do a custom mode where tier 3 headgear is whack. I think all of the headgear is whack, if I'm being completely honest. I don't think any of it is any good. Of the tier, you're not a fan of the tier 3 headgear? Or not a fan of Routine? I think all the headgear is garbage, though. But the most useful out of all the 3 is tier 3. Alright, let's do a custom... What is the challenge mode, actually? Sanity survival. Sanity is scarce, no pills or lights. Be careful finding this nightmare ghost. Ooh, we might do that. Be a good 5 grand. So let's do all of the... Because that's a good thing to go over, is going over all of the... cursed objects. My brain turned off for a second. Let's see, cursed object, quantity, all of them. We'll do tarot cards, voodoo doll, Ouija board, haunted mirror, music box, summoning circle, monkey paw. That's all of them. And the rest, what can we do? We're going to turn that down. Not changing rooms. High activity. High events. Let's get a bunch of events in there. Friendly ghost, nah. Yeah, 5 seconds is good. Hunt duration low is fine. Kills extend host. Hunt doesn't matter. If it kills me, the game's over anyway. Dine Naturals motivation. How are you? Use a tier 2? What is the tier 2? I know tier 1's the cameras. Tier 2 is... That's not the night vision, isn't it? Oh, you do 0 sanity, 0? See, I don't even know why you're here then, because it's... Oh, that's right. It is the flashlight. The flashlight is good. I don't think there's anything I can teach you, Miley. But I'm glad you're here. Okay. Evidence 3. Got it. Alright. So we'll go over all of the cursed objects now.
Alright, we're here. Take a look at the equipment and prepare accordingly before starting the investigation.
And we'll go over hunts too. Why not? Do some hunts. And the crucifix. Do you like reviewing a lot of the information? Plus, I just love the game. Yeah, this game is... If you like puzzle games, this game is basically just a puzzle game, but the puzzle's trying to kill you. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate being fun. This looks like my kind of Home Depot. I like Home Depot. So what you're saying then, Casey, is we're going to do a collab stream. Is that what you're saying? Oh, well, I wasted one of those. That's alright. I'm down. There it is, right there. You all see it in the chat, right there. A Casey, Buff Burb, Phasmophobia collab stream. Make sure you follow her, that way you can harass her in her own streams. Like, when are you going to do your collab with Buff Burb? 67% always right. I'm going to hold you to it. Okay, I'm surprised there's really not a curse object in this room. When all the puzzle games, you would think the Ouija board would be in here. That's disappointing. This is like one of the more interesting rooms of the house, I think. What? I didn't do that. Did I? Anyway, curse objects. We're getting sidetracked. All right, haunted mirror. Let's start with haunted mirror. The haunted mirror will tell you what room the ghost is in, but it will absolutely tank your sanity while you're looking at it. Mima's Playroom. That's its name now. Mima's Playroom. So, We're gonna look in it, and we're gonna find out what room the ghost is in. First, actually, well, we know. Well, yeah, our sanity is at pretty close to 100. So we're gonna see how much it takes our sanity by looking into the mirror. Boom. So it's in the dining room. You gotta be quick with it, man. You gotta be quick with that mirror, because it will just destroy your sanity. So we're at about 99, 100, roughly. And that dropped us all the way down to 80. Just that one little peek in the mirror tanked us to 80. So the mirror is great if you're having trouble finding the ghost, but just know, you look at that thing for a long time, it will destroy your sanity, and that thing eventing on you is not going to help either. So let's go in here. There's the bone. We're gonna pick that up. Tarot cards. Tarot cards. If you like gambling, you're gonna like tarot cards. Because that's basically all these things are, is gambling. You might get something good where it increases your sanity. Is this thing hunting? No, it can't be hunting. Is it because I'm holding the tarot cards? Yeah, never mind. I couldn't turn the light on, and I was like... So there's a little tip for you, too. If the ghost is hunting, you won't be able to turn on or off the lights. So I thought it was hunting, because I'm sitting here trying to turn the... I'm like, right now I'm trying to flip this light switch. But I guess because I'm holding the tarot cards, I can't. So, interesting. So, we're going to gamble. This thing could immediately kill us. It could give us sanity. It can take away our sanity. It can trap the ghost. It can bring your teammate back to life if they're dead. It can force the ghost to do something. Let's see what we get. Oh. So, the sun usually increases sanity, but then it turned into a Joker. I don't know what the Joker does. Yeah, the tower could force it to do something. It did not increase our sanity, although I thought that's what the sun did. Let's gamble again. Death. So now it's going to hunt us. Oh my god. For a second I thought it was a Dio. So Diogen will always know where you are. And they're super fast until they get close to you. And being in a closet is a bad place to be if a Dio. It's not a Dio though. This thing is fast as shit though. So how do you know when the hunt is done? The lights just turn out like that. Now you know the hunt's over. Let's keep gambling, because I think it's fun. The moon? What does the moon do? Oh, it voids the card the Joker does? Gambling? Oh, we're dead. Well, there you go. That's what you get sometimes when you gamble. Dang. Well, that sucks. That's alright. Oh, smoke. Or spider webs. Alright. Let's get back in there and talk about... Oh, it's a die-in. I don't really know much... Oh, they get pissed off at you, don't they? Like, they're the ones that get mad. Or enraged, is what they call it. I don't know much about the die-ins. Alright, let's get all of our stuff here. We'll do some more gambling later, just because it's fun. But, we'll talk about the other cursed objects. Moon card makes your sanity 0. It didn't really matter. The hangman kind of decided that for us. Okay, so we know the voodoo doll is in here. Thanks to our good friend Miley. So voodoo doll. Let's talk about voodoo doll. Voodoo doll, every time you push in one of these pins on the voodoo doll, like that, whatever room it's in, it's going to touch something. It's going to move something. It's going to throw something. It's going to do something. It's also going to take a little bit of your sanity with it. Now, if you push it, and you get the heart, like that, I don't know how we're getting so lucky with these. Please open. That starts a hunt. It's not very fast. With that being said, anytime you start a hunt with a cursed object, it extends the hunt time. So I think it's, what, 30 seconds is a normal hunt? Or a minute. I think it's a minute. A minute is a normal hunt. I didn't know about that. A minute is a normal hunt, and then a cursed hunt, which is like we just pushed the heart on that voodoo doll, which caused a cursed hunt. That means that it's going to be like a minute and a half instead of a minute. So it's a longer hunt, and every hunt from that point will be a minute and 30 seconds instead of just the minute. What's up, Azure? I like that color. Alright, so we got Summoning Circle. We'll talk about that momentarily. And Ouija board. Ouija board is one of my favorites because you can ask it questions. So you can ask it, where are you? Where's the bone? Do you speak to everyone? Now, if you ask it, where are you, or where's the bone, that's going to drain more sanity than the other questions. You can ask it about your sanity. Am I insane? So let's ask it. Am I crazy? Said maybe. If you go to MISC, every push pin drains 5% of your sanity. Thank you, Milo. So there's our answer. Every push pin drains 5%. The heart drains 10 and causes a percent. Miscellaneous. If you ask hide and seek, it's going to hunt you. It's a cursed hunt. If you ask you can ask it how old you are and how did you die. How old you are is good. Is an important question. Well, we can't see it because it's dark. But it's important because of the Thea. So the Thea will age the longer you're in the room with it. Where did we say? In the closet. That's where the other stuff is. Okay, music box. Music box is really good if you want to get a picture of the ghost. In case I have to drop off. Hey, I'm glad you made it too, Casey. I really am. And we'll get together and we'll figure out a time for us to collab on Phasmophobia. I'm down for that. That'll be fun. And have a good rest of your day at work. Hopefully you don't have any presentations you have to do today. Miss Gabby, hello. Alright, so the music box. When you use the music box, the ghost will sing along to the music box. If it gets too close to you, it'll start a cursed hunt. And if you play the music box forever, it'll eventually break, and that will also cause a cursed hunt. So you guys remember my friend Haley? Miss Gabs here is Haley's sister-in-law. So that's pretty neat. So let's... Where's the ghost room? We're gonna check the mirror. Basement. Alright. Do I have... Well, too late now, it's hunting. That's a good way to tell if the ghost is hunting too. If the door closes by itself like that, that means it's hunting. This seems faster than the first hunt. We all love Haley. I don't think there's anybody who doesn't love Haley. This does seem slower than the first hunt. Alright. Easy peasy. Alright, let's go take some drugs so we don't get accidentally hunted. Some drugs. Where are we at? 49. Ah, we'll take 2. 2 drugs for me, please. Alright, let's test out this music box so we can see how that works. So the ghost is in the basement. Now if I'm going to turn this light on too, actually. If I play the music box... Oh, it is right there. It is not in the basement. But yeah. So now we have a cursed hunt. And it was not in the basement. The mirror lied to me. That actually kind of scared me a little bit. But essentially that's what the music box does. You play it, and if you're close enough, it'll appear and stand next to the music box and sing along with the music box. And then you get a quick picture of it. But then it will start a cursed hunt after that. So does this door just open automatically now when the hunt's over? It used to not do that. It was probably roaming, yeah. But I was not expecting it. Roaming or not, still made me pee my pants a little bit. Alright. So let's load up on drugs. And I've had trouble in the past lighting the summoning circle with matches. I don't know how. We'll see. I'll try to light the summoning circle, but I might have to come back with a lighter. Can I turn the train on? This is my favorite part about this map, by the way. I love the train. And you can play with it. Get a whistle. Turn the lights on in the little town. Steam. Okay. So we have our drugs with us because we're going to try to light the summoning circle. And every time you light the summoning circle, it's like 20% of your sanity, I think. If I'm Mylan can tell me if I'm right or wrong about that. Regardless, it's a lot of your sanity. And if you don't have enough sanity to light all of the candles, you can't light them. So we're going to try to light them. Yeah, I always have trouble lighting these things with the matches. I'll have to come back with a lighter. And that's the last, oh, the monkey paw. We can do monkey paw. So the monkey paw is interesting because it's like a monkey paw. You ask it a question, and each candle drains 16% sanity. Okay, I thought it was 20, but you're right. You're probably actually. I know you're right. I don't have to question if you're right or wrong. But you do need at least 80 to light the whole circle. Oh, really? So if you're below 80, you can't light the last candle at all? That I didn't know. Oh, no, you're saying you need at least 80 because each time it's going to drop you 16 and you can't light a candle. I got you. I'm picking up what you're setting down. Yeah, if you don't have enough sanity, you can't do the summoning circle. The monkey paw. So the monkey paw, you ask it for something, and it'll give it to you, but at a price. You'll take that hand. I don't think you want this hand. We'll do one of the nice questions first. So if we go to other, and look, if you're set up on, like right now, my microphone is not attached to the game, so the game can't hear me. But you can literally say these words, and the monkey paw will react to them. It won't be able to right now because like I said, my mic's attached to my computer and not my game, so I have to do this nonsense. Knowledge, weather. Weather's the safe question. Marshmallow is the price I can pay. Well, if you did Casey, if you did your spider reaction video, you would have a marshmallow to give. All right, have a good day, Casey. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. But yeah, so with the monkey paw, the weather question is the only safe question. So we ask to change the weather. Now, when you're actually using voice commands, you can ask for a specific weather. You can ask for sunlight. You can ask for snow. You can ask for fog. Whatever you want, you can ask for it. It'll give it to you. If you're doing the buttons like I am right now, because I don't have a mic set up to my controller at the moment, then you get 1 or 2. Let's go for 2 and see what happens. Oh, there we go. So fog and snow, sun, rain, clear sky. We're going to wish for sun. And there you go. Now it's sunny outside. It's not dark. Which means it's going to be warmer because I believe it was snowy. Oh. That was cool. I didn't know it did that. Anyway. So now, let's lock ourselves in this room, sort of. And we're going to ask one of the not-so-fun questions. Can you wish for blood moon? No. That'd be cool if you could, though. Blood moon would be cool. But people would abuse it because you get extra XP for blood moon. So people for sure would abuse the blood moon question with the monkey paw. Let's see. So, questions. I wish to see the ghost. I'm not 100% sure what that one does, but I'm pretty sure it like shows up in front of you and then starts hunting. I wish for activity is it does something. I don't remember what the cost is for that. And then I wish to trap the ghost. We'll trap the ghost in the room that it's in, but then it will immediately do a curse hunt after that. Player, I wish to be sane. You'll get full sanity. But I don't remember what the cost is on that, like if you can't see or something. I wish to be safe means like if the ghost is hunting, the front door will open, but you're going to be or I wish to leave, the front door will open even in a hunt. But then you're going to be slow as hell. I wish to be safe. I don't really remember what that one does. I wish to revive my friend. So when you ask that, it'll revive your friend, but there's also a chance that it kills you. And then I wish for knowledge is it'll erase a bunch of evidence from the board, and then you'll be super hard to see. I wish to be safe will unlock the front door. I thought that was I wish to leave. Is that not does that not unlock the front door? Or maybe they both do the same thing. Either way. We're gonna wish for knowledge though. So there you go. We can't really hear. We can't see. Pretty sure it's hunting. But if we go into our evidence, see that? It knocked out a big old group of what the ghost could be. So we know we're not going to have ghost writing, and we know it's not going to be any of these ghosts. It's going to be one of these. See, I'm still learning. Well, you might be right. I mean, it unlocks the nearest blocked hiding spot and breaks the lights in your room. There you go. Okay, so in the more difficult, in the higher difficulties, not all of the hiding spots are available. We're playing on amateur right now. Well, we're actually playing custom, but we're going through amateur so that we can talk about. We can learn about the game a little bit. But yeah, in the higher difficulties, yes, there will be. Am I stuck in here? In the higher difficulties, some of the spots will be. You won't be able to open them. But yeah, so since we asked for knowledge, we can't hear. Our vision's blacked out, so it's hard to see. We're just going to make a random guess. I have no idea what it is. I feel like it was fast and then it wasn't fast. But I'm probably wrong about that. And it was roaming. So, roaming ghost. We'll go with Ray. It was Phantom.
I've got some
Dang.
tools ready for you.
That's alright. We weren't trying to find the ghost this time. We were just going over the cursed objects. So, what can we do now? What can we go over? How about this? Does anybody have questions? Anybody have any questions about certain things that we've gone over? And I'm going to update my loadout to tier 2 stuff while we're at it. At least everything that I have. So yeah, I started off with all entry level stuff. The first round we did, I just did what a person who just booted up the game they would get. So we started from video camera and we went up. We went over all the evidence and how to find it, and my opinion on the best course of action when you're playing solo or when you're playing with friends on who should have what and what to bring in first. And then we went through, and then we did, and that's when you got here. We were going over all the tier 1 extra stuff. So, sound sensors, sound recorders, medications, salt, cameras, all that stuff. Blink patterns? I haven't. I haven't talked about blink patterns for two reasons. For one, I'm not super great at them. I'm not super great at blink patterns. And for two, blink patterns is like, in my opinion, one of the more high end ways to determine ghosts. Um, I'm again, I'm not an expert, but I have prestige at least once. I've been playing for a little while. I mean, but I'm not quite the super expert. Phantom and Oni have different blink patterns. Also, I think there's one more. Let me look at my list here. I think there's another one that has a different blink pattern too, isn't there? Is there only a specific ghost that does an event in the first 2 minutes? All ghosts can event within the first 2 minutes. Um, uh, but hunting is different. So a demon can hunt anytime. Obake. Does the Obake have a different blinking pattern, or does it just change characters while it's hunting? Um, but anyway, Spooky, going back to your question, is there only a specific ghost that does an event on the first 2 minutes? All ghosts can event within the first 2 minutes. Um, but hunting is different. So a demon can hunt at any time. So as long as that timer, let's get back into another round and I can go over the timer. Let me just make sure I have all my tier stuff too. But there's a timer when you first come in on lower difficulties, where it's like 5 minutes or 2 minutes. And as that timer goes down, as long as that timer is still going, the ghost can't hunt unless you cause a cursed hunt by messing with the cursed objects. But after that, the demon can hunt at any point it wants to. That's its special ability. Is it'll start to hunt whenever. But a ghost event is within the first 2 minutes is not a sign of a specific type of ghost. Some ghosts can't do some of the events. So like an Oni cannot do the mist form, which is like that white smoky ball that'll chase you around. So that white smoky ball will chase you around. If you see that, you know it's not an Oni, because an Oni can't do that. How long have I been playing? About maybe when did they release Phasmophobia on Xbox? Because I bought it day one. Intermediate, and you only have 2 minutes. Okay, we'll do an intermediate round, and we'll talk about the differences in intermediate and amateur. We'll do that. Yeah, I think it's been like maybe 2 years. But I listen, when I first got downloaded this game, I played the shit out of it, man. I just played it so much. I've always wanted to play it, but I don't have a PC. And so when it finally came out on Xbox, I was super fucking stoked, and I bought it immediately, and just started grinding the crap out of it because it's fun. I love this game. This is like my comfort game. This is the game I play when I want to chill. Okay, so I got all tier 2 stuff that I have available to me at the moment. Let's go to intermediate for Spooky. So intermediate, what changes between amateur and intermediate? So amateur is you get 5-minute setup time, long hunt grace period. And so what the hunt grace period is when you hear it and the lights start flickering right before it hunts you, so you have a longer period of time. That's the grace period. When you hear that, it's not hunting, but that means that it's going to hunt soon. and the grace period on amateur is longer. Short hunt durations, which means it's not going to hunt you for a long time. Sanity pills restore a lot of sanity, so when you take your drugs, it restores more sanity than it normally would on higher difficulties. Regain half of your lost equipment value if you die. So if you die in a game, you lose the equipment on your truck. You lose that, and you have to buy it back. On amateur, you get half of that money, or half of that money back. So, not too big a deal. Now let's go to intermediate. Average setup time. So that's where your 2 minutes is coming from, Spooky. Average hunt grace period, which means the grace period between when it starts to make noise for the hunt and then when it starts hunting. That's going to be a little bit longer. Thank you for the GGs. Thank you for all the fun stuff. The cats. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Myling. Holy cow, Myling is just spoiling me. Thank you. You don't have to do all that, but I do really appreciate it. Myling, it's been super fun having you in. I hope to see you next time. If you're able to on Mondays, man, I do long playthroughs of certain games. Holy cow, even more stuff. Thank you again, Myling. You're the best. You help me out with teaching these people. Hopefully I don't tell them wrong while you're gone. But have a good rest of your day. Thank you again for stopping by. Thank you for all the gifts. I appreciate it. I really, really do. And I hope to see you again soon. And what difficulty do I normally play at? I'm gonna be honest with you. I like to play it professional. I will do Nightmare on occasion, because it's fun. I think Nightmare is the perfect difficulty for Phasmophobia. If I'm being completely honest, for challenging. Once you get into Insanity, I mean, you're kind of a glutton for punishment at that point. But Professional is just super chill, fun. I like to relax and play on Professional. So, and then for Spooky, we'll get back into Intermediate. The Sanity pills restore some sanity, which means it's going to restore a little bit, which is still enough, but it only restores a little bit. The fuse box starts off, which means you do have to know where the fuse box is to be able to turn it off and on. Fewer places to hide, which means some of the hiding spots are going to be they're going to be off limits to you. And then you regain some of your lost equipment value if you die, which means you get a little bit extra cash if you die, but it's not a big deal. So we'll run into this, and then I do also have to get off after this one. We'll do this one intermediate. And we have tier 2 stuff, which is much higher quality. Alright, so remember I said there was going to be tests. Here's the tests. What two items did I say were best for finding the ghost room? Anybody remember? While I'm waiting to see if anybody answers, we're going to scroll through. Power's in the basement, so we need to turn that on. We'll grab our flashlight. I got the keys. Top 2 items. To find the ghost room, thermometer, EMF. That's what it was. Alright. I can't walk. Okay, open the door. I'm going to turn switches on, even though the power's off. And it hit a switch somewhere. It's doing stuff. Oh. Right off the bat, we got EMF 5. So that's why listening is super important, especially on the higher difficulties. Because we would have missed that had we not been listening and paying attention. So now, good news is, right off the bat, we got EMF 5. So now we're going to come in here. We're going to start testing our temperatures. 63, not this room. 56, alright, it's colder. 54, it doesn't necessarily mean that this is a room, but it means we could be close. And this door was open when we walked in. So let's check this one. Nope, this one's warmer. And you see how much easier the tier 2 stuff is? Because it's immediate. You immediately see the temperature difference, whereas with the other thermometer, you just have to wait. Alright, so once we got over here, it got warm. So it could be a hallway ghost, or it could be in an adjoining room. It's also warm. Worst case scenario is a hallway ghost. Because they move around so much and they roam around so much that, man, they're just hard. It's hard to get the evidence here. And I do think it's a hallway ghost. Yeah, the rest of the house is warm. Yep, I think we have a hallway ghost. Oh, I heard something here. Maybe I didn't. I thought I heard something. And we'll double check this room, although I'm very sure it's not. Yeah, it's like 80 degrees. 48. 50. 48. So, in this scenario, with the hallway ghost is a pain in the ass. We're gonna put up motion sensors. And we can actually use our sound recorders with the microphones. So, we're gonna put one at the end of the hallway. We're going to put one in between this hallway, and then it's coldest in here, so I'm going to put one in here too to see if we get any kind of action with any of those. And then we're going to go get some sound recorders. Or not sound. What are they called? The microphones. So, microphones. And we'll grab these. So we'll put one in this room right here. That'll cover pretty much this whole big area. We're going to put one here. And then we're going to put one in the living room. Kind of way off to the side. So now we can head back to the truck, and we're going to look at our truck, and we're going to look at all of our motion sensors and our microphones, and we're going to see if we're getting anything. Okay, so we're getting something. That was in here in this little hallway. So here's the front door, and that was this one right here. So it's hitting this. Okay, now it's hitting that one. So it left that hallway. That right there is why I hate hallway ghosts. I hate dealing with them because you don't ever know where the hell they are. And if they're in here, the temperature in here will go up. And if they're in here, the temperature here will go up. But this all counts as one big room. So we are going to go ahead and start taking our cameras and try to pinpoint exactly what room, what part of this freaky hallway is this ghosted? So hopefully, we got cold breath right here. So let's turn these lights off. Let's grab this camera. We're not lucky enough to get any orbs. That's okay. Well, we missed it. It'll hit it again. Alright. Let's get the lights back on. Now it's just standing there. Menacingly. That's an event. I wasn't fast enough. And do we remember how we knew that was an event? I think it's in this main hallway. I don't think it's in that little hallway. And we know it was an event because the lights turned out. Yeah, it's this big hallway. Well, it doesn't matter. It's just either one. It's all of them. But it does like going in and out of them. So we're going to put that there. And we're going to move this up a little bit. Right there's good. We have the book down. We have dots down. We have our camera. We have the motion sensors. It's not really hitting this one. So I'm going to move this and see if it likes to go up and down this hallway. Ah, I didn't have a camera. Dang it. Alright. Let's check our sanity. 69. Nice. Alright. Now we do have tier 2 stuff. So let's go over a little bit of the differences of the tier 2 stuff. Also, your lighter and matches don't count. You can only carry 3 things, but the lighter and matches don't count as an item. Alright. Look how big the circle is now. You can barely even see it. And this covers pretty much the entire room. So we put that down, and we're pretty safe from hunts. Let's throw some salt down. Actually, let's get our camera first. Because we want the picture of the salt. Of it walking through it. Come on, Mr. Ghost. Trying to get it to walk through. There it goes. And we have the footprints, and I didn't grab a camera, because I'm an idiot. I'm not going to get it in time, but that's okay. We'll get our last bit of evidence here. What did we get? Just the EMF, right? And UV. How would a Goryo work in this hallway? It's an interesting thing to think about. Well, it doesn't matter because we got Spirit Box. Which means we got a Gaia. So that's a lot of the newer tier stuff. Like the dots is way better. The UV, I like it better. It covers a larger area. Basically, the difference between tier 1 and tier 2 is it covers a larger area for the most part. So. But we got our Gaia. It's one of the newer ghosts. And we covered a lot of stuff today, so.
Welcome back. I've prepared some jobs for you.
But that is probably going to be the end of the stream for today. I appreciate everybody who came in. Obambo, Gabby, Loki, Top Fuel. I appreciate you all being here. It's been fun. It's been a good stream. And hopefully anybody who likes the game has been interested in it. I highly recommend it. Phasmophobia is fantastic. So, but either way, thank you everybody. I appreciate everybody for coming in, and we'll see you probably Monday. Probably Monday will be the next stream. So, have a good day, everybody. Bye.
Are you shitting me, you motherfucker?
Lose my tank. You're a piece of shit, dog.